Hi, neighbor. Welcome back. Welcome to the second episode of Jammin' Dude's Neighborhood. And some of you were asking about this. Where's your co-host? Yes, my co-host, the Black Russian, he was here. I just forgot to introduce him. This is a place where I can get away and talk about prog rock or whatever tickles my fancy. It's my show. Lately, I've been spinning the brand new album from Riverside. It's called Love, Fear, and the Time Machine. I love this album. Their previous album, Shrine of New Generation Slaves, was an album that I wasn't sure about. After coming off my favorite album, ADHD, Shrine of New Generation Slaves to me sounded like some mellower ideas that weren't really complete. Love, Fear, and the Time Machine, to me, is a completely different story. These songs really get breathed into their full potential on every single track. Right from the get-go, Lost, Why Should I Be Frightened by a Hat? Rather unusual title. I wonder if Mariusz will explain that one. Maybe it's some weird Dr. Seuss reference. The book's so scary, I read it twice. But the album starts off with Lost, which is one of the best intro tracks I have ever heard from Riverside. The punch when the music sinks in just grabs your attention right away, and the thoughtful lyrics from Mariusz are some of the most beautiful he's ever written, even if they are a little strange. One of the lines is, I was frightened by 1,000 hats, which again just made me think of this. But maybe he would get on line and explain a little bit of that, or maybe I should just do a little bit more research. I'm just a guy on a couch with an ear for prog rock. From there we go on to the track Under the Pillow. There's some, I'm not going to go track by track, but some of my favorites along the way are Saturate Me, Discard Your Fears, the single that most of us have heard. I'm hearing a lot of references. A lot of people are saying that this album reminds them of The Cure. This is true. A lot of Cure here, but I think it's a little bit, dare I say, brighter. Yes, you do hear a little bit of Fascination Street in Saturate Me, and I think also in Caterpillar and the Barbed Wire, track 4. But it's not, it doesn't sound like a ripoff. It sounds more like an homage, and it sounds like a really wonderful borrowing that every good artist does. You know, one of the things that I was thinking is that it's almost a hybrid. You know what I'm hearing a lot of? I'm hearing a lot of Marillion. So you take like this moody atmosphere of The Cure, but then you brighten it up with just a dash of Marillion. And to me, that is this new and fresh sound that I hear on Love, Fear, and the Time Machine. And the album ends in such a big way, because after the single, we go into the one epic track here. It's called Toward the Blue Horizon, which I love the exit riff from this album, the breakdown riff here. It reminds me of some of those really incredible moments from the Memories in My Head EP. Just fantastic, really atmospheric, and one of the darker moments on an otherwise fairly hopeful album, especially coming off that wonderful single Discard Your Fear, which has been really an inspiration to me and should be to everyone here. I like it when, maybe I'm just turning into an old guy, but anymore I'm even liking it more and more where artists are mixing up some of the sad messages with hopeful ones. Because I get sick of hearing an album of just nothing but sad stuff all the time. So the fact that this album ends on such a note of hope and positivity after exploring some dark and atmospheric and melancholy moods, to end on such a ray of hope I think it's fantastic. Some people have been comparing it a little bit to Anathema, but Anathema to me is also a little bit darker, a little bit moodier, a little bit depressing. This is a nice mix of moods, and I love every single track on this album. But those are my highlights, really, is the opening track, Lost, Under the Pillow, Caterpillar in the Barbed Wire, Saturate Me, Discard Your Fear, Toward the Blue Horizon. Time Travelers is just a fantastic ballad, and ending on Found. This album flows so well in its mood. It does take you on a journey. This is everything I hoped it would be, and is such a fantastic follow-up to Shrine of New Generation Slaves, which, again, was just a so-so album for me, even though it had its bright points. I should really pull it out again, really, because it's been sitting on my shelf for a long time, and I just remember I gave it my usual 5-spin rule, and I just wasn't that impressed with it. This is another story. I love this album. So, if you can, run out and get this right away. Riverside, Love, Fear, and the Time Machine. A nice mix of moods, a nice mix of sounds, and if you're really into The Cure with the brightness of More Like a Marillion, I highly recommend you get this album right away. If you haven't been able to get into it yet, please spin it a few more times. It is fantastic, and is probably a little bit of a grower, because maybe on the first listen only a couple of tracks were grabbing me, but after I gave it my 5-spin rule, I was all in. So, thank you very much for stopping by my humble abode. I'll be going to be trying to make these a little bit more regular. I just, new job and things have been going really hectic. But thanks for stopping by, guys. Pick up Love, Fear, and the Time Machine, and I will see you next week. I'm going to try and do, I haven't decided yet. I've been listening to the Iron Maiden, but I've also got a new band from Sweden that I was going to tell you, but no, I'm going to keep it a mystery now. So, a new band. Brand new. I promise you, you probably haven't heard of them. So, keep you for a mystery for next week. Talk to you later. Bye.